Sonic the Hedgehog, as a franchise, needs no introduction. So I'm not going to give it one, I don't want to. This video isn't your first introduction to Sonic, just existing online you're already familiar with the series, or at least its fan base. But I'm not going to make a bunch of stale jokes that just boil down to assuming that everyone who likes this series is another Chris Chan. When in reality it's a lot less funny and a lot more annoying. Like, once a month I need to scroll past 100 posts complaining about the size of Sonic's quills, or what shade of blue he is. I guess this is better than arguing about which game killed the franchise. Spoiler alert, it's none of them. You can't say a franchise is dead when it releases a new game every couple years, and has new cartoons and movies consistently releasing. But either way, it would be better if this fandom was less of that, and more of people wanting to bang Rouge the Bat. But man, it sure sucks that you can't just talk about the first game in this franchise, it's Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis, without all of the baggage of the rest of the series. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit and let you know that this was a very difficult intro to write, because when it's your first Sonic video, how do you just ignore the public's opinions on Sonic? Probably like this. Sonic the Hedgehog was originally released on the Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, in 1991. You play as Sonic the Hedgehog and fight the evil Dr. Eggman, or Robotnik if you're a boomer, who's putting cute little animals into robots. So already we're getting themes of environmentalism, which is pretty cool, but we'll get more of that later on. I'm also playing on the PS5 version of the Sonic Origins collection. Before I bought it, I heard it sucked, but I got it on sale with the Game Gear DLC for like $22, and I don't know, it seems okay to me. I like the widescreen, I like that you have unlimited lives. I think depending on the game, more re-releases of retro games should give you unlimited lives instead of save states. Both are good, I just think the infinite lives are better here. They replaced the life counter with coins that you can spend to unlock things like concept art and music in a bonus menu. It's pretty neat. They also added new animated cutscenes at the beginning and end of each game, and there's a mode where you can play each game in one continuous sequence. And you can play as any of the 4 characters in any game, those being Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and for the first time, Amy. I stuck with Sonic for my first playthrough here, though, since I wanted the more pure canon experience. So let's just jump into it. The game opens with Green Hill Zone, and this is a great introduction to the game. It's simple and an inviting level, perfect for learning the controls. It's all one button, but Green Hill makes the perfect playground to learn the momentum and speed-based gameplay. It's a beautiful landscape, and it contrasts well with the cold, hard, metallic enemy we're up against. Speaking of which, this area's boss. For our first duel with Eggman, he has a giant wrecking ball attached to his little pod. It's actually a pain in the ass, if I'm being honest. Getting the timing down for when you can hit him is challenging, but once you learn, with patience, he goes down pretty easily. Our reward for defeating him is opening this pod filled with creatures captured by Eggman. On to the next zone. And Marble Zone is bad. Aesthetically, it's fine. We're moving away from natural landscapes and into this ancient ruin-looking area. But once we get underground, the ability to go fast is just taken away from us. Now, instead of taking out robots and going through loops and stuff, we're pushing blocks so we can slowly float through lava. This level would be great if we were playing some kind of puzzle platformer, but we're not? If this was one of the first levels in a different game, it wouldn't be too bad, but like this, it's just boring. The boss for this level has Eggman dropping firebombs on 2 platforms. You have to jump between them and find openings to hit him. It's not very difficult, and it's kind of fun when you get the hang of it. It's about now that I think I should talk about the special stages. Aesthetically, they're awesome. I love this psychedelic pattern with the fish and birds in the background, and the stage is constantly spinning, disorienting you. However, if you actually play the stage, it sucks. The abstract and disorienting nature would be fine if I wasn't actually trying to make my way to a Chaos Emerald in the center. Trying to navigate to the Emerald is so nerve-wracking. When it's above you, and there's an exit below you. It was about at this point in the game that I decided to restart because I hadn't gotten emeralds in the first few stages. Yeah, in order to access the special stage, you need to complete a zone with 50 or more rings. and there's only 6 emeralds in this game. So at least you only need to beat 6 stages. However, I do find it funny that since Sonic only collects 6 emeralds, he can't turn into Super Sonic. So it actually fits the lore of the series. But yeah, these stages are a nightmare and would look better as a screensaver than an actual game. Back on the road again, we reach Spring Yard Zone. This one's fine. We're back to levels that are actually designed with Sonic in mind, and this one's alright. Nothing special, but I can't complain after fighting through Marble Zone. The boss here has Eggman just picking up pieces of the stage and exploding them. Truly riveting. Labyrinth Zone, sadly, bears little resemblance to the 1986 Jim Henson film. It also sucks. A lot. 90% of the stage is underwater. It's filled with stupid traps that you can barely react to because of the water physics. I don't even want to talk about it, it's just awful. There's not even a fucking boss. Eggman just shows up and you chase him through the final stretch of the stage while it fills with water. You don't even have to hit him! It feels like the one team made Green Hill and Spring Yard, and another team made Marble and Labyrinth. These might be a little more bearable in another game, but again, they don't work for Sonic. Once we get through the Labyrinth, we reach my favorite zone in the game. Starlight Zone. I love the music, and the background is just stars. It feels like our final obstacle before defeating Eggman. It's not even close, but it just feels magical, like we're almost there. It's fun while still being challenging, but it's still there. Except for those little bomb bastards, I hate them. The biggest problem with the stage is that the acts are too short. This boss is also one of the better ones in the game. It's another one where it doesn't really make sense why Eggman would design this, but it's a lot of fun to play. I don't even know what to call it. Eggman just drops bombs on these little seesaws and you have to jump on them to shoot him back up at him. Scrap Brain is fine. Cool name, neat aesthetic. I appreciate the stages get more and more mechanical as we go. It's done better in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but it's still a present theme here. The third act here isn't even a boss fight. You get to Eggman and he sends you down to Hell, also known as Labyrinth Zone. Both Starlight Zone acts were shorter than usual, but we can at least go back to the actual worst stage in the game again. I hate. Final Zone is just the final boss, and again, it's fine. I might like it if it was another random boss or something, but really, this was the best you could do for the final showdown. Giant pistons, and Eggman teleports between them. We beat him and he flies away, and that's it. The game ends with Sonic back in Green Hill. If you got all the Chaos Emeralds, you're rewarded some flowers here on this end screen. Oh, and Eggman doesn't juggle the emeralds in the good ending, so... Look, I understand that they already knew they were making Sonic into a franchise with a bunch of games, but was that really an excuse for them to just end the game with no real climax? Whatever, man, I'm done talking about this. The game is fine, it's frustrating at points, but you can really tell what they were going for in stages like Green Hill or Starlight. They were just finding their footing. It's funny, I've seen people complain about how they're sick of every new Sonic game lately just being a step in the right direction instead of being actually good. But when the first game in the franchise is just a step in the right direction, it really makes you think. Although I've been critical of this game, I've been a Sonic fan for a long time. Ever since I saw the Sonic Adventure roulette wheel game at Chuck E. Cheese when I was like 8 or 9. I was instantly taken in by the unabashed coolness and style. And for a little autistic kid, a character whose whole deal is loving his friends, being free to do his own thing, and having a strong sense of justice, how could I not love him? But it occurred to me not long ago that, like some of my other favorite series of all time, The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros., Five Nights at Freddy's, there are a lot of games in the series that I haven't actually played, and since I also have a part of my brain that makes me want to complete things, probably also the autism, why don't I do a series here on YouTube reviewing all of the games in the series? And I could stream the whole thing over on Twitch, too. So this is actually part 1 of a series where I play every game in the Sonic series, including weird one-off things like Sonic Schoolhouse, or popular fan games like Roboblast 2 or Project 06, and the handheld versions of games like Colors and Generations. I was kind of already doing this with Five Nights at Freddy's, trying to play every game in a series, that is. The thing with FNAF, though, is that I'm including a ton of fan games. Like, every time I learn about a new one, I just throw it onto the pile. I'm not even going off of the exact release dates, I'm just approximating, because there are so many FNAF fan games. But with Sonic, though, it's a little more manageable. I'll even include some other Sega games that are/were adjacent to the Sonic franchise, or featured Sonic in them. Games like Rystar, Knights, Space Channel 5, Billy Hatcher, etc. Although I might skip some of these for now to focus on the main series, just so I can get to Shadow Generations as soon as possible. I want to play that game so bad. I'm actually still streaming on Twitch, and at the time of recording this, I just finished Sonic and the Secret Rings, so we still got some ways to go. Soon, Shadow. I will have you soon. But I hope you'll join me on this silly little adventure. Like and subscribe over here to see reviews of each of the Sonic games I'm playing, and follow me over on Twitch to see me play them live. I'm putting the spreadsheet that I'm using to track all the games in the description, so if you see anything that I'm missing, let me know in the comments, please. Or just tell me how much you love me, I don't care. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and please, as always, have yourselves a damn good one.